Are you feeling stuck in your job? See, the amount of work you have to do every day is so hectic, but the pay at the end of the month is nothing to write home about compared to the work that you do. Now, even though most of us feel the same way, but it's better if at least the pay can, sort your bills, like pay your rent, go to nice restaurants once in a while to eat, get you nice clothes, a few designer stuff here and there, and little savings. At least they sort some of your family bills, than when you have to depend on loan to even transport yourself to work, as is the case with a lot of people, especially in Nigeria today. So I can imagine the kind of frustration that anyone in such a situation must feel. Well, if this is you and you're watching this video, then you are in the right place, because today I'll be sharing my story of how I was able, with the help of God of course, to change my story from a network engineer who was earning less than 100 or around 100 euros. If we're looking at today's rate, it's even less than $100 even, to be honest, because I was earning around 120,000 when I started my career. And then by the time I left, after 4 years, I think my pay was around 200,000, which is just around $120 today. So I was able to change my life from earning this say $120 to, I'm not going to tell you my exact pay now, but let's just say it's over let's just say it's over 30, over 3,000%. That's like over times 30 of what I was earning in Nigeria. So yeah, I've been pushing making this video for the longest time. Like, I keep thinking about editing, like I don't have time, my job is hectic. But recently I just started thinking that, I feel, or I think that the information I have is valuable, so I don't think the people who are going to be watching me are going to be super interested in seeing nice b-rolls, or yeah, it would be cool, but I don't think that would be the most important thing they are looking for in this video. So today I just thought, without planning much, so please forgive me if I'm a bit all over the place, but I'll try to keep this video short as well. I just want to see if there's anyone that's going to be interested in such content. Then you drop a comment in the comment section to let me know if you'd like me to share more videos, because there's a lot that I would like to share regarding my journey of how I was able to get multiple jobs even while in Nigeria, and then bag an international job that moved me here to Dublin, Ireland. My employers paid for my relocation, they even gave me relocation allowance and all that. So if you're interested, please drop a comment and maybe specific questions or whatever. But today, let's go straight to the point. I just want to give like a brief story of how it happened for me. So I started working in 2015, because I graduated from school 2014. I served till 2015, and lucky for me, yeah, I was able to get a job with Huawei Technologies in Lagos State, Nigeria, as a report engineer. My salary then was 120,000 naira. It was a shift job, so it was like 12 hours for 2 days, and then 12 hours for 2 nights, and then you get 4 days off. Now the schedule makes sense because you get that 4 whole days. In fact, it's 3 days, because the day after you leave the office is almost useless. You end up just sleeping the whole day. But yes, it was a good schedule, but trust me, working shifts, 12-hour shifts, is not easy. And being someone who can sleep for Africa, like, one fun fact about me is I slept through a robbery in boarding school. Yeah, I will tell you more about this in another video. So someone like me who could sleep through anything, to have been in such a job for 3.5 years, it was really hard. And then the take home was nothing to write home about, because I still had to depend on loans. As the first child of the family, I had to care for my siblings, at a point even my parents, because things got really bad at home. So it was really a tough time in my life. I remember well, anyway, I'll talk more on all that in other videos if you're interested. But for now, I just want to share like the things or the mindset changes I did that got me to where I am today. And I'm not saying I am at my final destination or something, but to be honest, I am grateful to God because I have a job that pays my bills and I can even save a little. I'm even able to do giveaways on Instagram, just to help, because I know the situation of things back home in Nigeria is nothing to write home about. So yeah, I thought I might have some information that might help someone out there who is looking to change their life as well. So for me, it started I think around 2 to 3 years into my job in Huawei, which was my first job in Nigeria. I remember close to one end of that year, it must have been 2018, around November, December that year. I really can't remember how I started watching all these motivational videos. I honestly can't remember. I just know that I was watching a lot of motivational videos, and then I started trying to make some personal changes where I would exercise in the morning. I remember doing meditations a few times, and the good thing I'll say that did for me was, to be honest, I didn't really meditate like how they say we should do, think about your breath or just focus on your breath and all that. My own meditation rather was just, it was a time that I used to think, because I don't know, for some reason when I'm not meditating, I have a restless mind. I don't know if it's just me or if it's a problem with me. What I'm trying to say is that period of meditation was the first time in my life. I don't know, someone might think I'm over exaggerating this thing, but to be honest, that was the first time in my life that I actually sat down to think about my life. What I was always complaining that I'm not happy, my pay is small and all that. For the first time I started to think that, what can I really do? I don't know if this makes sense. It's not like I didn't used to think of it even before the meditations. Yes, it was in my mind to change my life, but I never really gave it a deep thought. So what does meditations did for me, even though that's not what you're supposed to do in meditation, you're supposed to focus on your breath, you're supposed to, but for me, it was time to think. And I would spend 15 minutes doing that. And then one day, it just clicked in my head that, okay, you are a transmission engineer and then you're earning this amount. But look at these other guys, the network IP engineers. They come in and they start with at least 250, and then there was one other guy that I learned, he just had about 1 year plus experience and he was already earning 400k. And that day I just started thinking that, no, maybe I need to learn something. Trust me, this thing might be like a no-brainer to some of you watching this, but for me, I don't know why I never thought of it. Maybe I'm just slow or just dumb or something, I don't know. But it took that meditation or something, it took me sitting down to really think, to realize that, okay, I needed to up my skills. And it wasn't an easy thing because nobody was going to give me the free period to say go and learn something, or so I had to take time from no time. But like I said earlier, I had this 3 days off call, which I was supposed to use to do other personal things, because once work starts, imagine 12-hour days, 8 to 8, then go back home from Lagos Island to mainland. It was the whole day was gone, and then you wake up the next morning, and then the third day you have to do night, so you have to sleep the day. It was just nothing to. So those 3 days, I started to use 2 days out of it, the 2 middle days, to go and learn something. So I would still go back to the office. I started to go to different platforms in the office to get them to learn what they do. And because of this, when these engineers from these other platforms were going on leave, because they had taught me what they were doing, they would ask that I step in for them and be their DOA. It's and designated, what's the meaning of DOA? I can't remember, but it's not better. No, I can't remember the meaning of DOA. Designated something appointment. Oh, sorry, I can't remember. What a shame. Okay, so I would be their DOA when they went on leave, and then I remember at the point I got famous in the office. People used to call me the Ashewo of the network, because I had literally sat on almost all the seats in the office, just taking these DOAs for people that were on leave. It helped me because it gave me a better understanding of the platform I was. So I started as a report engineer, but later, after a few months, I had moved to front office transmission. So as a transmission engineer, so transmission is just one part of the network. But when I started doing DOA for several people, I started to understand the network more. So it got to a point where if I had an issue, I don't know how, but like I would just know that no, this is not transmission issue, this is MPBN. And if the MPBN person is not on sit or they are doing anyhow, we log into MPBN or to IP to the router or something and check my issue, and my issues were getting resolved like really fast. And then just within me, I knew that no, it was time to go for something bigger. Like I started to look out for roles within the office, like IP transmission roles in the back office actually, because I felt like that seat I was holding me back because I had more. I don't know if I'm explaining this well. And anyway, opportunities came. I did a couple of interviews that I didn't get, but finally I got one and I moved to the back office. This was around, I had like 2.5 years experience around this time, and I moved to the back office and I started to do a little bit more troubleshooting, because now I could even provision services, new services. Sorry that I'm using networking terms. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, but networking engineers will understand me. So what we do as networking engineers in the most simple form is we troubleshoot customer issues. Like if customers call that their service is down, or we'll make sure that we kind of bring the link, we'll kind of bring up the service, make sure they can reach the internet and all that. So when I moved to back office, I started to do a bit more than just troubleshooting. I started to do a little bit of provisioning new services. I'll just get the plan and I would configure the routers and all that. And before I knew it, okay, when I moved to back office, trust me, I got just a little bump. I think maybe 40k or so. So my salary became 170 or was it 160, 170k. And then after some time, I started to think that okay, I think if I go out, I will get more money, because still the pay was so small. I was carrying my family at that point. So I started to look for jobs outside, and yeah, I failed a couple of interviews, but finally I got a job with Main One, and my pay was bumped to, I think 200k. Yeah, at Main One I think it was 200k. And I was in Main One for a few months. Main One is a good place to learn. It was hectic, but I learned a lot at Main One. I had a great manager, Gabode. He's an amazing manager. He made sure that everyone was skilled enough, so it was like compulsory to learn. He would do this random test on you, and it really helped me. And you know how it is, once you feel like you've learned so much, you begin to look out again, and before you knew it, I was applying again, and I got a job with MTN Nigeria. And that same period, I kept applying internationally, and I got an interview. I actually got an interview with Google and Amazon at the same time, but the Google role needed me to know another branch of networking that I didn't know much about, which was fiber. I didn't know much about fiber because even the initial interview with the recruiter, I flopped. So thankfully, the Amazon one, it was just IP and coding. To be honest, when I got the interview, I wasn't qualified, but thankfully I knew this. I had this connection on LinkedIn that we had never met, but I can't even remember how we started talking. I believe I reached out to him, and I can't really remember, to be honest, but I just know I had this person in Amazon. And so when I got the interview, I reached out to him. I was like, please, I just got this mail. I wanted to even be sure there's no scam, because you know the story. And he was like, oh, congrats. And then he asked me some basic questions. I remember the first one was, what are BGP attributes? And I didn't know. And he was like, okay, can you just push this interview? Tell them you're not ready. And I messaged the recruiter. I was like, please, can I get 6 months to prepare? And she was like, oh, sorry, we can't give you 6 months, but if you're not ready within 1 month, we can just push it. I can't remember the words, but like we can just reach out another time. When I had 1 month and me looking at this opportunity, I didn't even know how much the pay was, but I knew that this is an opportunity to travel abroad, and I was like, oh yes, I'll do it in 4 weeks. And my God, I had just moved to Main One this period. Okay, yeah, the timing, I'm mixing the timing. I was like 4 months into main one. I was working on MTN job while I applying to Amazon at the same time. So why I'm saying this is because I couldn't request for annual leave in main one to help prepare for the job. So I had to prepare for the job whilst doing my job in main one. And meanwhile, the job in main one was still a shift job, same pattern as in Huawei. So, but I think it was even 3 days off now. It wasn't even 4 days off like I had in Huawei. So it was the longest 4 weeks of my life because I didn't have any rest. I started to learn from the scratch, and the level of knowledge you need to get it, because it was a level 4 role in the role I used to get the job was a level 4 networking engineer role. So it was a really difficult time, but lucky for me, I scaled through. I could go in depth about the story of how I managed to, prepare for the interview and all that. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, I scaled through. Trust me, it was really hard. It was hard because getting this job, like, you need like a CCIE level of networking knowledge to get a level 4 role. You don't have to have a CCIE, don't get me wrong, but you need almost that level of knowledge, trust me, in networking to get this role. And then they'll move you like they did me. I was moved on my visa. In fact, at the time I did my interview, the pandemic had not yet hit. So even the interview stage, so the thing is, I did the first phone screen back in Nigeria. It was a 1-hour call with the interviewer. They asked different questions around routing, networking fundamentals, and automation. Yeah, and then for 1 hour. And I remember feeling positive after that interview. I knew somehow that I was going to get it because it lasted over 1 hour. Actually, it was supposed to be 1 hour, and then we stayed for almost 1 hour 20 minutes. It felt more like a conversation. It was very thorough, to be honest, but I enjoyed it. And because I prepared anyway. Remember I said that the 4 weeks prior to the interview, it was something else. And then when I got to, they invited me to Dublin for the second stage. I did my visa and I came to Dublin. It was like the best time of my life. It was the first time of me leaving Africa. And they paid for my flights, the visa, everything, transportation and all that. My feeding whilst in Dublin, they paid for that. And then I went back to Nigeria, and 2 weeks later I got a call that, yeah, you got a job. It was the best moment of my life. And so I got that call in January 2020. And then I started my work permit, and the pandemic hit. And I was supposed to get my work permit in March, but suddenly everything stopped and I had to wait. So I got the work permit around May or June, and then I couldn't apply for my visa till July ending. And then I got the visa in early or mid-August. Early September, I think, because I traveled I traveled end of September. So I got the visa early September, and I remember landing Ireland on 29th or 30th. It was a Sunday. It was the day the winner of Big Brother was announced. I remember that year. The winner, was it Lakon that won that year? I think it was the year Lakon won. Lakon Erika, I believe it was that year. So I think either 29th or 30th. It was a Sunday. So I left. I remember being in the airplane when we started moving. I was just thinking about Big Brother because I knew the winner would be announced whilst we were moving from the airport. And I moved to this beautiful country. I remember when I came for the interview, I was just thinking that I thought, because I wasn't really sure. The second stage was hectic. 5 hours of interview. 5 full hours. If you want details on this, drop a comment in the comment section. Like, today is just an overview of everything, and I'll give you more details. So I remember going around taking pictures, just saying, in case I don't come back to this country, at least it will be my record in my head, or I'll have pictures to show my grandchildren that I went abroad one time in my life. But I'm glad to be back here, and today I've visited a lot more countries. Maybe not too many. I think like 10 countries now. I've been to the US, several, like 2 states in the US. I've been to Chicago and Washington State, Seattle precisely. Then I've been to Canada. I've been to Vancouver and Toronto and Sudbury and London. Those three: Sudbury, London, Toronto. They're in Ontario. And then Vancouver. Oh god, I had a good time in Vancouver. In fact, I'd love to move to Vancouver. Then where else have I been to? All the other places are just vacations in the UK, to Wales, to Mauritius. Why can't I remember the places I've been to? What's my problem? Egypt. Although the second time I tried to go to Egypt, they denied me visa. Anyway, sorry for another day. They didn't deny me visa, sorry. They denied me entry to the plane. I wanted to go from the UK. See, this is our Nigerian passport, and story for another day. But yeah, I can't even remember the countries I've been to. Well, I have this thing I'll try to record and put on the video. Each country I've been to, like I have I always buy souvenirs from there and I put it there. Okay, I think why I said 10 countries is because some of those countries I just transited through, to be honest. I've been to Qatar, but it was just transit. Okay, I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but I'm just trying to say that I'm just trying to encourage you out there who is frustrated in your job right now to know that it is not the end of the road. Don't you ever think that, because I understand how you feel sometimes when you're in it. You just feel like it just looks like there is no hope. I mean, you should be thinking that what can you do to change your life? Like, you don't feel like it is not for you, like maybe this is your destiny, my dear. Unless you are not determined enough, there's a way that you would have resolved in your mind that this thing, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I am going to improve on what I am doing now, because if God's going to bless you, he'll use something that you already do, or he'll use something that you already have and multiply it. It's not going to create, it's not going to send manna from heaven and land in your arms. And you can encourage that by beginning to improve in that skill, whatever it is that you're doing right now. Improve it. See what people who are doing well in that field, see what they are doing, what kind of skills do they have, like why are they super rich. Don't go and look out for OBUs. Yeah, OBUs, their father gave them money, but look out for hardworking people, hardworking OBUs. What are they doing? What is are they working extra time? Are they reading more books? Are they learning new things? Like, I'll put some quotes on the screen. So yeah, this video has gone too long. I honestly didn't plan to talk for so long. I'll try to be more structured. That's why I have been pushing that. I actually wanted to have something, you know, concise, straight to the points and all that. But I hope someone, at least even one person, watched it this time. Please comment. What would you comment if you watched till this time? Let's see. Comment fuming for greatness in the comment section if you watched till this time. I just want to know, like, I'll be happy if one person comments this. It will let me know that, okay, someone didn't think I blabbed too much, even though I think I did. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope to do this at least once a week. I'm looking forward to your comments. What would you like to hear? Like, I'm even thinking of doing like a session, like a training session to help people who are looking for jobs, like to prepare for interviews, or just what to learn or what to know about the job, you know, or just whatever it is. Please just drop in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.